Hello, everyone. Or should I say, good day, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Brown Girls Are Beautiful. I'm your melanated queen and your hostess, Lil Foxy. You can also reference me as Seven Wonder. I hope you all have been having a magnificent week. As you all know, tomorrow, okay, is allegedly Thanksgiving. Now, you may or you may not already know how I feel about that quote unquote holiday, y'all. It is a man made holiday that is not really celebrating what we know as to be Thanksgiving, but it is a mockery, okay? They have made a mockery of us. And I know this does not have anything to do with the title. We're going to be talking about Travis Scott crisis actors. This is going to be officially part three, you all. But I felt that it was prevalent for me to bring up this matter because so many of people get misconstrued about the reason why we celebrate some of these holidays. And I feel the biggest thing that we can do is not give into the atrocities, especially when they're making a mockery out of our ancestors and our lineage, you all. We all know about the Native Americans, which are us, the Indians, which are us, this land which was stolen from us. Okay, most of you all, if you look back into your history, if you speak to your parents and your grandparents, they're going to tell you, because I've heard this story so many times, the consensus stands true across the board. Your family owned or has acres and acres and acres and acres of land. Well, how did they get this land? Did anybody ever wonder that? Because they were already here, which means they already owned the land. Okay. And they were swindled out of their land. They were tricked out of their land, and their land was stolen from them, you all. So when they celebrate Thanksgiving, they are feasting to the downfall, the atrocities, the bloodshed of the Indians and the Native Americans, you all. And so this is why I just say that Thanksgiving has been basically a way to make a mockery out of a lot of us across this globe, you all. So I just wanted to point that out. For more information into that matter, you can check out Sarah Suit and Seti, you all. I watched him one. I remember it was right near Thanksgiving, and I watched him one year. I think it was like back in 2016. He had me cracking up laughing, you all, talking about Thanksgiving. He was, Saracen City was in there sweating. I mean, he was busting a sweat. He was in there just going off. He was cussing, using all types of profanity, talking about, I'm doing this for the babies. This is for the babies. He was mad. He was going in on all the melanated beings. He was like, y'all spent $1 billion on turkey. He said that could have been money for the babies, for the babies. And y'all spend it on every holiday, y'all. Easter baskets, Easter bunnies, Easter eggs. Okay. Look at Christmas is coming up. You're going to be spending your money on gifts. I used to work at a bank, you all. And you know what people would actually tell me? We had to call and ask them for money on their credit cards. And I mean, these people had lines of credit, $40,000, $50,000. And a lot of people would be like, I don't have it. Christmas was here. So they basically forewent, or they would forego their payment to the credit card company. So, you know, if you go over 30 days without making a payment, it puts a hit to your credit report, which I don't see how presents and gifts are more important. But so this all you all, this is how the narrative has been marketed to Americans. For whatever reason, in this country, it's a merchant's country. It's a merchant's holiday. All these holidays. So I just want to say that if you're going to give thanks, you know, whenever you feel like it. Give thanks every single day. Give thanks while you're here. It doesn't have to be the day that these people picked out and planned for you. This should not be a time that you pick and plan when to see your family. You should be able to pick and plan a day to see your family according to when your family is available, not according to this man-made holiday. So I just wanted to say that. But aside from all of that, we're going to get into this whole Travis Scott atrocity, these crisis actors, y'all, because it's gotten completely out of control. And I just want to say, my heart wholeheartedly does go out to those who have to celebrate this holiday season without their loved ones, because we know many tragic situations do take place around this time of year. I have a dear friend of mine who actually lost his mother around this time of year, you all. It was right before Thanksgiving. This was back in like 2008, 2009, that time frame. So shout out to him. All right, but let's get into it because I want to talk about the fact that these people, okay, are making a mockery of us to our faces. They think we don't have common sense when it comes to this whole Travis Scott debacle, okay, at the AstroWorld. So you all, let's go ahead and get into the people that say that they have hired an attorney, the attorney representation, and the quote unquote alleged bodyguards, or excuse me, security guards, okay, that were securing the premises during this time. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get into it, y'all, because this is a hot mess, to say the least. All right, y'all, let's get into it.
Black Friday sale. Get up to 60% off in-store and
Black
online.
Friday, y'all. Pay no attention to the nonsense. And if you really want to talk about Black Friday, we could talk about it because allegedly that was the day that they would market the slaves on the black market out in, what is it called? Out there on the stock market in Manhattan, New York, where they have the stock exchange, you all, they used to use slaves, okay, and put them on the stock exchange. So that's where you get this whole Black Friday from. Why do you think they call it black? Now, if you look this up on Google, they're going to say that it's a theme, it's a myth, it's alleged, it's not true. Of course, they're going to say that because Google and Amazon and all these people are tied in together, so they make money basically off of you buying their merchandise and their products. So I just want to throw that out there. All right, nonetheless, let's get on with it, y'all. All right, here it goes. The showdown begins. Look at this, y'all. Look at how they are playing trickery on all of us. Now, first of all, I want to know who shows up to a press conference, okay, looking like this. All right, so you see what he has on. You see, this is the alleged attorney, and this is him. Now, allegedly, this dude right here broke his hand. Y'all, I can't make this up. I want you to look at this for yourself because this don't make no sense. This is a hot A mess.
I'm Larry Taylor, managing partner for the Cochran firm here in Texas. Here with my client's Bushes.
First of all, I want to take note that right here across the screen, normally there's a ticker that tells the name of the attorney, tells who is involved in this press conference. There is nothing of the sorts. This looks like a very low budget, okay, situation going on right here that's occurring. But I digress. That's neither here nor there. Let's continue on.
As you guys all know, we filed a lawsuit last Friday, and the security company as one of the defendants. And so I know you guys have quite a few questions, and I'll let you guys begin with questions.
When were you hired?
We were hired roughly, I think, 48 hours after the incident.
Now, he just said he was hired roughly 48 hours after the initial situation took place. That is pretty quickly to have funds to hire an attorney. In some cases, you don't get paid until after you win your lawsuit, or you don't have to actually pay the attorney until they actually win the lawsuit. But just, I want you to notice and just pay attention to detail here so you can see the charades and the games and the shenanigans that are being played before our very eyes, you all.
When were your clients hired to work as security? That's what I mean. I'm sorry.
Good morning.
Now, what's so funny? Why is he smiling? Did you see that big grin across his face? Look at him. This is an attorney. I didn't even hear his name because the sound bite was low. I don't even know who planned this press conference, you all. It looked like a last minute situation.
The morning of. And how did you come across them?
Social media.
Okay.
Social media was kind of like a social media post asking for anybody to show up.
He got hired on a social media post that was asking for anyone to show up. Now, if you were looking for a job, would you take that seriously? A social media post and they're just asking for anyone to show up. That's what he just said out of his own mouth.
So describe that to me. Is it on Instagram or what?
It was like an Instagram post asking for anybody to show up for security. I got my security license, so I had interest in it, thinking I can, get in pretty easily. But I didn't even need the credential of the security license.
Okay, so
because they didn't ask a little bit. I didn't need it because they didn't ask for it, but it was pretty much anybody show up and anybody can work.
as far as you know, people did not have some type of prerequisite background or anything like that.
No, you didn't even need citizenship, basically.
So what did they tell you your duties were?
For the most part, they told us where to stand, not to let people run in, which we tried not to, and be safe. Don't put our hands on anybody. That's more than
sufficiently trained.
I guess with a little more instructions, it could have been easily executed, but as far as the training, there was no training offered, for the particular concert of AstroWorld.
And when you saw what was happening, when you saw those horrific events unfold, what did you think?
It started off, as as the fans trying to, in a rush to get in, and finished with the fans being the exhaustion showing, of how much it took, to get to that point.
He doesn't know what to say. So at that point, as you can hear, he's stumbling over his words because he's not well versed in the matter. He doesn't know what to say. He's ill prepared. His lawyer has not prepared him to be in front of cameras, speaking in front of a national audience, you all. So that's why he's stumbling the way he is. Because if he was prepared, he would know exactly what to say in front of the cameras. So just make note of that.
It wasn't pretty at all. It wasn't pretty at all.
Can you talk about what you witnessed, specifically what you witnessed? I'm sure it was people needing help, people in pain, injured.
It was a lot of distress. A lot of people, were so into the concert they didn't want to be helped for the most part. I was trying, even before the concert started, I helped a lot of people. It was already bad before the concert started. So for the most part, yeah, I could say the people it showed, the fans, they was already out of whack before the concert started.
Where were you placed throughout the venue, throughout the day?
Well, for the beginning, we were at the entrance of the ticketing, where they was allowing the fans to come in. Towards maybe 7:30ish, before Travis Scott himself started performing, they moved us to the concert area where we were escorting artists back and forth, celebrities back and forth. And it wasn't so much of crowd control then, it was just making sure that they don't get touched,
Y'all, you hear what's going on. He's basically telling you his synopsis of what took place at the AstroWorld festivities that day. It's interesting.
During that, you had no other choice but to help people. They were begging for help.
Who were you escorting in and out?
Most of the artists that performed that day, that night. It was a few people, through the crowd, through the Travis Scott.
So when they
he seems very unsure in his answers. If you really listen to him, just watch him. He's not even really looking at the camera. I guess he's looking at the news journalists out there, if that's what you want to call them. But for the most part, his story seems iffy at best. And I don't know. It sounded like they said that he was securing the premises for SZA and Travis Scott, like he was escorting them. Okay, I'm just going to leave it there. Because for this person not have the credentials they're looking for and barely check his history or his criminal background, you think they're going to let him safeguard these artists? Well, let's continue.
When they gave you the offer for employment, did they contract you for the whole weekend, or was it just for the day?
Well, the agreement was the whole weekend, so I took off from my day-to-day job to be there. My boss granted me the days off to be there. The second day, we wasn't even notified that it was canceled until we got here and seen the big sign saying AstroWorld's canceled. We were still ready to work, even though, we went through. See, by the night it was over with, I had my shoes off. My shoes were gone.
Yeah, he didn't came out of his shoes. He was safeguarding the premises so much. This security guard came out of his shoes. Okay, he was working hard. He out there basically barefooted, y'all, on concrete and cement. Bare to the bone. This man was going hard to the point that he worked himself up out of his shoes. That's how hard he was going, y'all. He was going that hard. He wanted to go back the next day because his quote unquote boss, which I don't use that terminology. No one is the boss of you. You might have a manager or a supervisor of a position, of a role in which you work, but nobody's the boss of you, right? And then you mean to tell me that you were working so arduously that you don't work yourself up out of your shoes and you want to go back the next day? Y'all, this is a mess.
Too, so it was a lot of.
And did they pay you for the whole weekend, or they pay you hourly? And how much did you?
Well, they paid us. Well, we don't really know what they paid us, honestly, because.
What did they offer you? What did they pay you?
They didn't tell us anything. We heard from the other people working with us that what they were supposed to pay.
Now, he doesn't know anything about the pay. He doesn't know what he was paid. He heard from other people what they were supposed to pay him. But he took this job on a social media platform that required no background check, no citizenship, and he thought it was legitimate. Did he really go to safeguard the crowd, to be a security guard, or did he go to get into a concert for free so that he could watch the celebrities perform, y'all? Now watch as the quote unquote attorney kicks in at this part, y'all. He gonna speak up.
That's the only way, that's the only thing.
That's one of the things that is still in dispute right now.
Okay.
So they were initially told that they were going to be paid $30 an hour. And then it went from $30 an hour to not being paid at all, to eventually just mysteriously being paid a little of something on their Cashapp. And so as we go forward, exactly.
Now, what legitimate job pays you in Cashapp? Because everyone, if you own a business, then you know that when the IRS tracks things, and if you are monitoring your records properly, you don't pay your employees via Cashapp. You do it through Zelle, okay? Because these transactions need to be checked and tracked in your account so that you can basically secure your books and balance your books, especially, when it comes to tax time and stuff like that.
Exactly. As we go forward with this litigation, that's one of the things that we'll also be looking into as well. How are these subcontractors paying these individuals who are risking their lives to help out during this event?
So they didn't have to fill out W-2s or any of that stuff?
That's one of the things that is disturbing, right? These gentlemen show up. They were told to wear all black. They did exactly what they were told to do. They signed in. No ID, nothing required. They signed in on a form and went to work. And as you can see, ended up getting injured. As we were walking in, they were recognizing some of the people that they were actually trying to help during this event. And so it's been traumatic for them, and as well as other workers at this particular point.
What's the name of the company again?
AJ Molina.
How many hours did you work?
Yeah, they said AJ Molina. Let me write this down. AJ Molina, y'all.
We worked over 16 hours that I can kind of remember exactly, because I remember we showed up. We showed up like 5:30 that morning. We didn't really get in touch with anyone until about 7:30, because we were here for about 2 hours trying to locate the company and who was in charge. So I could say from like 5:30 that morning to like 1 a.m. the next day, that night.
So you want EVs, you have come to the right place.
Yeah, I'm trying to research AJ Molina right now while they're on commercial break. I want to see about this contracting company that's hiring quote unquote security guards that don't even need any credentials or a background check. I'm trying to find out who this is. AJ Molina, y'all. That's what they said.
I mean, the volume of things that was going on. I was just trying to be professional as I can. I only have my level 2. I have interest in having my level 4, which is like bodyguard security, which in particular, you need extra training for that. And also you got to have a certain type of, mentality. And I was trying to keep that mentality of not getting starstruck around the celebrities and not, trying to enjoy the concert so much and try to actually pay attention to the fans and do the job of helping them. And
all right, so he was trying not to be starstruck by the quote unquote stars, y'all. And he was trying to pay attention to the fans and help them. Now, I want to know, since they say that they were hired on an Instagram post, where is this Instagram post that's been circulating around for these security guards? Why don't they screenshot it and show the public so we can see this for our own selves and our own records? I don't even know. This story sounds extremely made up, but let's continue.
It was so many people. It got to a point where so the fans couldn't, really. I didn't know who to, pay attention to for help. It was too.
How many people do you think this company hired here to work security? Did you find any colleagues?
It was I did not. Nobody I noticed from Houston, but it was a big team of us. It was a big team on the other companies. Like I said, the plan.
So this security company hired a big team of people, but all the people that were hired, even though the event took place in Houston, he didn't notice any people from Houston that were there that were hired from Houston. So how did they recognize where these groups of people were from? Because I thought they were told to come dressed in all black. So did they have some type of name badge, or did they have something on their clothing? How did he recognize where these people were from?
It wasn't executed the right way.
Do you have any idea how many total number?
We don't at this point. From what we understand, there were a group of individuals who were actually.
Now, did you just hear his attorney kick in and say he interjected himself and said, we're done at this point? Then he tries to answer the question on behalf of this guy because he knows this guy is just fumbling through answers at this point. So this attorney, he thinks he's so smart. He's trying to be a fast talker.
Brought in, and then there were those who were hired locally, but it seemed to be no communication between the different entities or the different individuals. Both Samuel and Jackson at one point were separated, and Samuel didn't even know, Jackson didn't know that Samuel ended up breaking his hand until later on that night when they finally got back together. And at the same time trying to protect others, listening to some of the stories that they've told about how they tried to attempt to help people and those they were able to help, and at the same time trying to protect each other. Samuel was trampled twice, where people just stepped on his hand and broke his hand.
How in the world? Please tell me. It doesn't make sense, y'all. Samuel and Jackson were separated, okay? They were security guards that were hired by way and means of Instagram with no credentials required. They were allegedly paid through Cashapp, but Samuel or Jackson doesn't even know how much they were supposed to be paid. There were people there, but they were not from Houston, even though the event took place in Houston to work the security guard team. So all of a sudden, one of them ends up injuring in his hand because he got trampled on so many times and people kept stepping on him. So at what point would he call the paramedics or go to the hospital or call for ambulance or say, you know what, it is time for me to leave, I'm injured? Okay. And then he says they get separated, but you're security guards. So I would assume that at some point you would be separated if you're trying to help the crowd. What are y'all staying together, tag teaming together? I don't understand.
And so, between these two individuals who worked and other individuals that worked, there's a lot of questions to be answered.
Tammy, why don't you tell us your experience?
Look, he's sweating hard. Look at him. They need to give him a bottle of water.
My nephew had got the text message.
And he there with his nephew, y'all. So his nephew got the text message. All right. You about to hear what really went down, y'all.
One night, and he told me about it. I was excited, and I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to be a part of the, actually see the celebrities. And
so he just said he wanted to be a part of seeing the celebrities. It was not about securing the premises, helping the crowd, working security. It was about trying to get in where he could get in, where he didn't have to pay for Travis Scott AstroWorld ticket, y'all. He looks like a scam artist.
Work the event. So he sent me the text message. I responded. They told us this show.
All right, so I thought it was an Instagram post, but he just said that his nephew Samuel sent him a text message, and so he responded to the text.
Up in all black, and that's what we did. We showed up in all black, ready to work. We're not knowing that the event was going to turn out like it did.
Do you have a security background?
I have a security background. I worked clubs and security concerts and stuff like that before back at home.
So when things got bad, tell me what happened.
Well, when things got bad, that's when the crowds and stores started to stampede and barricade and tear stuff and just do whatever they had to do to get in. And it was just overwhelming. I was trying to help out as much as I could, and I wound up getting hurt. And they were speaking about shutting it down, but they continued on. And when I hurt my hand, they summoned to medical, and I was going to continue work as long as everybody else was working. And I wound up hurting my hand and getting trampled for the second time. And that's when they moved us.
So it wasn't enough that he got trampled the first time. He had to get trampled again the second time. So with a hurt hand, he really wanted to go back out in that crowd so much to help the people with a hurt hand. And your security. Now, I thought these crowds were so deadly. You could hardly breathe. You were compacted in together. What was he going to do with a hurt hand, y'all?
Around a little bit more, and things just started to get more and more out of hand, out of control.
Did they give you any advice on what maybe you should do if things got bad?
No, they didn't. They just only instructions I remember them saying was just stay safe and don't put your hands on no one. At the time of the event when they actually brought us to the stage performance.
So can you describe when you tried to help people pull them out? You said that you couldn't.
Yes, ma'am. There was a little lady. She was a petite lady, maybe not even 5 foot, 120, maybe 30 pounds. And she was screaming and begging and crying for help, saying that she couldn't breathe and that her friend was maybe been down on the ground or something. And my hand was hurting already at the time, and I just raised my shoulder to her and asked her to grab around me so I could try to lift her up and slide her out. But as much as I tried, I could not even get her. So I had to call for more help to get the young lady out of there, and I felt bad because I couldn't. They had some people come, but it just wasn't enough.
I cannot.
How did that make you feel?
It made me feel real bad. It made me feel less than a man that I couldn't help someone that was in need of help. And then later on, knowing that a lot of people had died.
We had helped out probably like 60, just in my section alone before I found my uncle. I put out probably like 40 to 60 people out the section I was in before Travis Scott even hit the stage. It was even before the concert started. After I pulled those 60 people out, my body was sore. I was literally sore because I had helped out guys that was bigger than me. I found my uncle and I told him, I was like, bro, I gotta get away from him over there. I can't keep in that. It was because I was hurting so much, but it was like, dang, I keep begging the fans, I'm like, can I please help you out? Can I please help you out? And they didn't want to be helped. They wanted to see Travis.
Larry, you talked about how this was obviously emotional and traumatizing for the people that had to witness this. That is also a huge part of the lawsuit and the damages that they now have to live with.
And it is. And anyone who has ever talked to anyone who has suffered through some kind of traumatic incident, this has probably been one of the worst ones I've actually heard people who were there. For people who are just everyday individuals like many of us, to see dead faces, to see people in distraught trying to help others, and then, like they said, trying to help and not being able to help it was hurtful. And just listening to their stories time and time again for every client that has called in, it's troublesome because no one should have to see something like that.
And also, Travis Scott, not the first time that his concerts have had issues. So that is something that you will also be looking into.
That is something that we're all looking into. I'm pretty sure many of you guys have seen the Netflix movie or documentary. And as early as 2018, 17, there were fans breaking through barricades and coming through. And so you have to ask yourself and ask the security companies, why weren't you prepared? You had basically 3 years to be prepared, and you knew the type of fans that would be coming. Things like zigzag. Why weren't the fans told to go into a zigzag function so that they couldn't just all bum rush and force down gates and overpower security? And so, at the same time, cause senseless deaths of these individuals behind us. So those are all things that we'll be taking a look at.
How were you communicating with other security and your superiors?
At the time, we couldn't even find them. So it was whoever was close to you, you communicate with them. We were actually backing up another security team out of Dallas. I think it was Dallas, Texas. And they was like some of the elderly and college students, so they really wasn't some of the strongest people to help, the fans out of the from behind the barricades. So for the most part, I had to be right there where I was,
Yeah, so they had elderly security guards at a Travis World Astro Festival featuring Master P and SZA. Make it make sense.
And I couldn't. Besides my uncle, once I located him, I didn't know where nobody else was.
So they didn't give you all
And his uncle
walkie-talkies
was
or
trying
No
to turn up.
walkie-talkies. No walkie-talkies.
Did that seem weird to you?
It all seemed weird. I was just trying to keep my professionalism in tech, and do the job.
Feel like the team.
Look at him trying to keep a straight face. I was just trying to keep my professionalism and do the job. I was trying to help the fans as much as I could, not get starstruck, not trying to enjoy the show. I text my uncle. I sent him the Instagram post. I'm like, what up, Unc? Look, they probably went there to turn up. That's what happened. That's probably how he injured his hand, if he injured it.
Security teams were set up for failure. Ultimately, do you feel as though you guys were just thrown?
In my conclusion, yes, I do. I feel like we was just thrown out there for for whatever to happen. I feel like it was planned to go that way, for us not to be paid and handled, professional as we worked. Everybody else was.
So they didn't give you all walkie-talkies or anything?
No walkie-talkies. No walkie-talkies.
Did that seem weird to you?
It all seemed weird. I was just trying to keep my professionalism in tech, you know, and do the job.
Do you feel like the security teams were set up for failure ultimately? Do you feel as though you guys were just thrown?
In my conclusion, yes, I do. I feel like we was just thrown out there for, like, you know, for whatever to happen. I feel like it was planned to go that way, you know, for us not to be paid and handled, you know, professional as we worked. Yeah, I do feel like that.
Do you have a screenshot of the listing that got you this job?
We at this point, we do. You contact our office, and anything that we can provide to you at this time, we'll provide.
Okay. You think we can get that for this evening?
Contact Ryan, and we'll go from there. But I don't want to do too much prior to the early part of this litigation.
And you said that there was some amount that was given to you over the Cashapp. When did that come in, and how much was it compared to what you probably were owed?
I can't even remember when I didn't even want to, you know, touch it. So I can't even remember when. It was a few days ago.
Yeah, it was most likely. I think it was last Friday, and it was probably 1/4 of what they should have received.
Last Friday, as in just a couple days ago.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Last Friday, and any right around 1/4 of what they should have received.
What is typical protocol when hiring, like, I guess, freelance security like that? Is that normal? Is that a normal process?
First security job I ever had to work just at a bank. I went about fingerprint. I had to go and take the fingerprint process, the whole background check. I even had to take like the level 2 security test, and I had to pass, because if you did not pass, you did not work. And it was a little more intense than this was, way more intense.
And I'll answer that question with a simple: you would think it would take more than just signing your name. At least an ID, at least the day before, coming through, walking through, seeing what you needed to do, so everyone knew their assignment, everyone knew each other. None of those things were done. It was as simple as you and I meeting up right now and walking on the other side of this gate, and we're supposed to secure the park. Secure what? Secure where? Secure who? None of these things were provided to these gentlemen, and it seems as if they just wanted bodies more so than to actually be able to secure.
And as far as you know, they didn't do any background checks on anybody who was working security.
As my clients have told us, they just showed up and signed their name. Now, I don't know for every security company, but as far as we know right now, people just showed up in the uniforms or dressed the way that they were asked to, and were put to work.
Can I get the spelling of both your names and ages?
Jackson Bush, JCKSON BUSH, both spelled traditionally. I'm 25 years old.
My name is Samuel Bush, SAMUEL BUSH. I'm 46 years of age.
Thank you very much.
I'm Larry Taylor. I'm 48. Thank you, guys. Give Ryan a buzz, and any of you guys who've ever worked with me before, you understand we'll get you what you need, but I want to make sure that we keep the integrity of this case and making sure that we protect our client. So, but I'm very forthcoming in making sure that you guys are taken care of. Okay? Thank you. You guys have a blessing. Thank you.
Y'all, do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Timothy Savage. Joycelyn Savage's father. He reminds me of Tim Savage. This reminds me of one of those press conferences that we saw for R. Kelly, where we saw what's his name, Daryl Johnson. This is what this reminds me of, y'all. If y'all recall that whole debacle that was going down. All right, so enough with Exhibit A. Let's move on to Exhibit B, you all, because I feel that this whole thing is very entertaining at this point. Very entertaining, y'all. So I'll turn my camera on so y'all can see me, get my facial expressions and stuff like that. But we're going to move on, like I said, to Exhibit B. We're going to move on to Crump. And as you know, he is number one crisis actor attorney at its finest, you all. I don't even know how people even take him seriously at this point. So anyway, let's go on to Crump, and we'll get into these shenanigans, okay? So let me share my screen, and let's get into it, y'all. You cannot make this stuff up. That's the sad part. These people really take us as idiots, like we don't know any better. Look at this. They did a 58-minute press conference, you all. But let's go ahead and listen to this nonsense. Okay, let's get into it, y'all.
This Black Friday week, Elementary.
Yeah, you already know how I feel about Black Friday. I've already told you about Black Friday. All right, let's skip this ad, y'all. Let's get into it.
Physically and psychologically at the AstroWorld Festival.
All right, let's stop. We just 2 seconds in. Let's get into it, y'all. 2 seconds in. Who hires an attorney that cannot articulate himself? He can't even pronounce his words properly. Like, would they take him seriously in a court of law? Maybe, maybe not. But I'm just saying he's not the most well-spoken attorney. So I don't know how you would feel about him representing you, especially in something that considers and incorporates death, you all. I'm not trying to be funny if people really did pass away in this situation. Now, that lady that got dropped on her head, y'all, I saw the clip. It's very disturbing. That's why I don't really want to show it on here. But they literally let her fall on top of her head, and she fell on the concrete. She fell from the stretcher on her head, dove on her head. I mean, poor little thing. Like, I really feel sorry for her if this is what caused her demise. And I feel sorry for her family and her friends, especially her. So this is why I do not subject to the people. Like, I don't subscribe to anybody that's making a mockery of injuries, because you have people that really could have lost their lives. To be honest with you, this lady is the one lady that I feel probably was the one that lost her life, because she got dropped from the stretcher. Like, I saw that take place. And that was not a facade. They didn't make that up. So let's go on. Let's continue, y'all, because we're going to hear the antics of Attorney Crump here.
Some of these victims have been catastrophically injured, who we represent, and fatally injured, and are fighting for their lives. At the outset, we continue to ask for prayers for 9-year-old Ezra Blunt. We are praying for a miracle with his parents and his entire family at this time. This morning, we are announcing the filing of over 90 more lawsuits in this matter, now that we have collected the information and the details and the evidence that they were present at the festival, that they sustained injuries at the festival, and that we will make sure that they get justice.
Oh, yeah.
Because this should have never, ever happened.
Ever happened. Y'all, man, they're going to get some justice in here. You hear me? They're going to get justice, y'all. Yeah, we're gonna skip this. This man is a trip.
From several people this morning that is just symbolic of the number of people who we represent that were physically able to come and be here with us today. Some of them are not physically able to come. Some of them, for psychological reasons, are still haunted by what happened that night. As I told you, Attorney Hilliard with Hilliard, Martinez, and Gonzalez, based here in Texas. Attorney Darren Miller, based here in Houston, Texas. Attorney Ray Shackelford, based here in Houston, Texas. Marion Tolan and Charlie Jones from my office here are present. But most importantly, the people present with me are Miss Gertrude Daughtry, who is seated here because she has severe injuries to her shoulders, her legs, her ankle, most prominent, and the fact that she was on the ground for 15 minutes struggling to breathe.
Oh my
You're
God.
going to hear from Rena Ihita, who is experiencing severe post-traumatic stress disorder after witnessing people right near her carried out on stretchers, as she also was caught up in the melee. You're going to hear from Dijon Isaac, who was trampled and stomped and tried to help people who he saw on the ground. You're going to hear from Bryce Nunn, who may be a little delayed trying to find parking, but he has a dislocated knee and is on need crutches to walk, trying to find parking. Miss Unica Smith is going to talk to you about how she was crutches to walk, trying to find parking. Miss Unica Smith is going to talk to you about how she was crutches to walk, trying to find parking. Miss Unica Smith is going to talk to you about how she was crutches to walk, trying to find parking. Miss Unica Smith is going to talk to you about how she was crutches to walk, trying to find parking. Miss Unica Smith is going to talk to you about how she was crutches to walk, trying to find parking. Miss Unica Smith is going to talk to you about how she was crutches to walk, trying to find parking. Miss Unica Smith is going to talk to you about how she was
Okay. Let's see what's going on here. I think I see what happened. I had two screens pulled up at once. So I'm going to have to start this back from where I had it. But I'm trying to understand, if this guy injured his leg and broke it or whatever he said, how is he in the parking lot trying to find parking? How is he even driving? That doesn't even make logical sense. You tell me that he is held up because he's trying to find parking. Make that make sense to me. I hope he's not in the car driving, y'all, because that wouldn't make logical sense. All right, let me go back here and go back to where we were. Okay, here we go. Back to the nonsense. So many, wait a minute, hold up. Let me see what you said. So many details they're leaving out to protect their numerology BS. Exactly, 8 with this 24. You be on it. Man, you are definitely woke. I appreciate that. Because, you know, a lot of people don't understand the magnitude of where this goes. Like, people just hop on the next thing that they hear. Oh, they said they got injured. Oh, they said they got carried out in stretchers. Oh, they said 9 people died. I really wholeheartedly don't even know if that's true, y'all. I really don't. But anyway, let's continue. All right, so let me share my screen so we can get on with this.
crushed, how after she fainted, and how she didn't know if she was going to make it or not, and how she continues to have the recurring nightmare of what happened. And let me, before Attorney Alex Hilliard comes and talks to you about some of the details in the lawsuit that was drafted. This is not just about making sure we get justice for these people who have been severely injured. It is also about making sure that Live Nation and all of the organizers, promoters, and anybody else who had anything to do with the failure here that caused people to lose their children. I mean, families lost their high school children, their college children. People were injured greatly. And nobody should ever die from going to a concert. So this lawsuit is not just about getting justice for them, but it's about making sure that the promoters and the organizers know that you cannot allow this to ever happen in the future, even if you have to immediately stop the concert. And we understand, Attorney Hilliard, that there were several people who could have stopped this concert when we saw these tragic circumstances start to occur around the 9:05 time. And we have a timeline that breaks it down. And each and every one of them could have stopped the music, turned on the white hot spotlight board so everybody could.
All right, I'm just gonna
claimshelp.com.
I'm trying to see when is he gonna stop talking. That's what I want to know. I want to hear from these alleged victims. Let me stop sharing my screen for a moment because I want to get into these alleged victims, y'all. Okay, so that's what we're gonna get into. All right, let's see. I'm gonna skip all of this because he's very long-winded, apparently, and he's trying to put on, you know, a show for everybody. But let's see. Let me skip this and go over here. Here we go, y'all.
More than 200 victims.
He's still talking.
Concert when
he likes to talk.
The security person. They did not. And
all right, hold up. Here we about to get into it, y'all. I gotta find out when they start talking.
Irahita come and tell you about her experiences that night. And you can just talk it loud.
Oh God. I cannot with these people.
Out as you can. Take your time. I'll spell it. You want to spell it? Well, okay. REYNAIRAHITA. Take your time.
25. I can't put together the words to say. You can't use the words horrifying or anything. I just remember Houston becoming a new home for me and being excited to finally get to share a little bit about what I love about Houston and having my best friend coming to town. And that was all we were looking forward to, this concert, just making memories and everything. And always being on alert, knowing, okay, these concerts are scary, people making jokes about it, but I always like to be aware. I remember that day we were going to get there later, but something just kept telling me, let's go earlier. We went around 2, and I remember it was just a mess. It was horrible. There was people just walking in and out everywhere. Like, it wasn't organized. You wouldn't see securities. I remember getting to the checkpoint and looking at my best friend and be like, why are there people here? Like, why are they just standing here? There's no one here, covering them. Like, I don't feel safe. I hope everything is okay. Not knowing what happened earlier in the day. Then I finally got in. They never checked my bag or anything. They were letting people pass by with beers, cans, and all these different things. They weren't even checking on anything. I remember getting to the merch and just being like, okay, it's probably crowded in there. Let's see this merch line, let's wait here. And all of a sudden you just hear yelling and you just see people running. And I just remember I just got in defense mode and looked at my best friend and told him we need to leave. We need to get out of here. We're going to get trampled. And I remember him just being like, it's okay. Don't freak out. You're good. You're overreacting. And I'm being like, no, I'm not overreacting. I told you from the beginning, these people are waiting for something. They're waiting to just run in there. Like, everyone knows that people plan this out. And it's just frustrating knowing that I was just a person that never experienced any of this, and I could see it, and not seeing any workers anywhere, no police or anything. And then I got lucky to be able to cut into the right merch line.
All right, y'all. I have to stop it here because I cannot stand her whining voice. It's annoying me. Okay. When you hear women talk like this, and then I just couldn't do anything, and then I just like they are acting is too much. I can't take it. I can't tolerate her voice, y'all. So I apologize. I gotta skip that nonsense because she's getting on my nerves. All right, let's keep going.
They're awake at nail salons, still thinking about what they witnessed.
Oh, he said they are at nail salons. They so traumatized. They are getting their nails done, but they traumatized, y'all. And they thinking about it when they getting their nails done. This don't make no sense.
There are literally dozens of other people who have told us just as horrific stories. Next, you're going to hear from Dijon Isaac to tell you about what he experienced.
It's Dishon. So I was on the left side of the stage, about 40.
Oh my God. Like, he totally kind of like reminds me of Golden Beauty, like the way he talks. Well, we're going to continue. We're going to continue from here, y'all, because he was like literally there on the left side of the stage. I can't with these people.
5 minutes prior to Travis coming out is when it started to get intense. There was pushing that started happening behind us. Fights were breaking out. People were throwing water bottles. It was basically a war zone. And it just got worse and worse the closer to when Travis was coming out. I think around the 5 minute mark, the pushing began to be so aggressive. Each time I would be pushed, I'd almost touch the ground, back and forth, back and forth. And at this point, you're at the mercy of the crowd. We were packed in so tight. We were like sardines in a can. And the feeling was like, imagine someone coming up behind you and bear hugging you as hard as they possibly can. And it's just bodies. So around 5 minutes.
Yeah, you know, I try not to cuss. But imagine somebody coming behind you and bear hugging you. I'm trying to imagine that. He's trying to say that's what it felt like in the crowd. Please tell me, how believable does this sound to you? That somebody felt like they were bear hugging you in the crowd, y'all. This is a complete.
There was one point where someone said, everyone put their hands up. I put my hands up
At all.
and I wasn't able to get them back down. When I finally got them back down, I basically teamed up with the people immediately around me. And I told everyone, like, get low and like basically put your arms out like this so you can create some space for yourself. And so we're doing that. And I'm starting to make my way out. I hit a fence on the side where a bunch of people had fallen down. And the whole time, like, I'm trying to pull people up and I'm pulling someone up. There's people on the ground trying to like use me to pull themselves up. And I just remember thinking, like, if I fall, it's over for me.
Oh my God, y'all.
And
he had a lot going on.
So I find a way.
Stop. Yo, I cannot. And I can't.
To get off the wall, and I start going to the back. I'm making my way through the crowd. The whole time the pushing is still happening.
Right.
The crushing is still happening. And I reach a point where I'm losing consciousness. And I'm like, I look above the crowd. I don't see an end in sight. And I just feel like people pushing me from behind. And finally I hit a pocket of air. And at that point, I just go as fast as I can through the crowd. That night I was wearing a sweater like this and a hoodie. And I sweated through both of them completely. Like I literally took off my hoodie and I could squeeze it out. And there was sweat.
Hold up. I gotta stop it right here, y'all. Because first of all, we know in Texas, now this was Houston. I've been to Dallas. Okay, this happened in, let me see, November around the 5th. Okay, I was out there the other year for my friend's birthday. So I want to know, how in the world did he have on 2 hoodies, right? When we saw the crowd, these people were literally wearing, what did I see? I saw them with t-shirts on and shorts, y'all, when they broke through those gates. But this dude just told you that he was in 2 hoodies and he sweated both of them out. Don't make me pull up the weather forecast for Houston. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. Oh, God, y'all. He's some liars. Hold on. We go pull up the weather forecast because they want to lie to us, y'all. Let's go on. Let me continue.
And I sat on the sidewalk and just sat there like in a daze for minutes. I just remember bodies everywhere, like limp bodies, people pulling bodies out of the crowd. The minute Travis came out, I went with a friend and I turned around and looked for him. He was gone. There was no cell phone service. So finally, when I went far back enough, he called me and was like, bro, where you at? I spent 20 minutes on the ground, and there was a girl next to me who's for sure dead.
Hold up.
And
it's just too much going on. Hold on, I'm sorry. This dude just told us that he spent 20 minutes on the freaking ground, y'all. So basically, he almost got stampeded and trampled to death. Let him tell it.
Well, other than that experience, a day later, he sent me an ABC News article saying that 2 people had died that were standing literally right next to me. And
literally, y'all.
I'll never forget the look of terror on people's faces. That's the thing that sticks with me the most. I remember there was a girl at one point who was holding my hand. I didn't know this girl whatsoever, but she held my hand. I held her hand as long as I could until eventually I lost her in the crowd. But yeah, that was pretty much the experience in a nutshell.
Thank you.
Stop. I can't. Do y'all know right now? I just pulled up the Houston weather. It is 71 degrees right now. Okay. And this is at nighttime. Okay. All right. So Texas is like 1 hour behind us. So right now in Texas is 9:30 p.m. And then let's see what the weather was. Oh, the weather was 75 degrees in Houston, y'all. 75 degrees. I put in here Houston weather on November 5th, 2021. So you want to tell me that on November 5th, you were wearing a freaking hoodie? 2 of them. 2 of those. And everybody else in the crowd had on t-shirts and shorts and jeans? What up? I'm laughing at you. Hold up. Oh my God. I can't with these people. Now I feel like people are lying when they say literally. He would have had a heat stroke and 2 hoodies. Right. Exactly. With all that going on, it's a wonder he didn't pass out. You let this dude tell it. He almost lost his life. Literally.
And why is it that Deshaun and others had to try to come up with safety plans for an escape route? Where were the crowd control personnel there?
Look, y'all, he should have called Jackson and Samuel. We just saw Jackson and Samuel. We saw their attorney. You know, those were the 2 security guards that got hired by way of Instagram. And they said they got payments in Cashapp. Why didn't he flag those 2 security guards then?
Medical personnel there to help them. I mean,
yeah, we're going to mute this. Make it make sense, y'all. They really insulting our intelligence. When Martin had that big his coat, and I was
It's on every level. And that's why we have to get the answers. We cannot have where people go to a concert and they die. That is unacceptable in 2021. It is so preventable. This was so preventable. People sometimes try to say, well, you weren't physically injured like Miss Daughtry or Mr. Nunn, who's on crutches. What's the problem? They have severe mental issues.
Yes, they do.
Post-traumatic stress disorder is very real. And we're hearing it over and over again. These people are not able to just turn the page and go back to normal.
So, y'all, these people have suffered post-traumatic stress disorder. In this case, this man suffered post-traumatic stress disorder because he had on 2 hoodies and basically almost sweated to death, which nobody told him to wear 2 hoodies and 70-degree weather in Houston, Texas, and a crowded atmosphere with nearly 50,000 people packed together. So he didn't know to take his hoodie off. Like, yeah, I just cannot. I can't with this nonsense.
And we as a society should take very seriously their mental health after this tragedy.
You're absolutely
and we're saying
right.
to Live Nation and everybody, don't try to sweep this under the rug as if it's not real. It is real.
It is real. And I'm going to make it make sense.
It's very real.
It's very real.
It's ISAAC. 31.
Yes, 8 with the 24. Yes. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Like, as somebody they don't understand the ramifications of making a mockery of real people who have gone through post-traumatic stress disorder. I know what it feels like to have post-traumatic stress disorder. And I think a lot of people out here have definitely suffered things to cause mental issues with them. And they sit up here faking. This is what I can't respect. And then they put this stuff on the news and they think we're stupid enough to fall for this nonsense. This is crazy, y'all. Oh, he didn't want to get COVID. Well, did he have a mask on? That's the question I want to know. Did he have a mask on, y'all?
Yes. I ended up walking on from Energy after that. A Museum District, Montrose area. Thank you.
Oh, stop it.
Now we're going to have Miss Daughtry come to you. She's having some problems ambulating, so we're going to assist her.
Y'all, oh my God. Look, before she even gets up. Oh, look, I'm going to turn my camera on for this one. Before she even gets up, you want me to think that she went to the AstroWorld Festival to turn up with Travis Scott and Master P and SZA. So look, she can't even hardly get up. And y'all want us to believe that she was at this AstroWorld Festival, y'all. Does she even look like the type? That's my question. Stop.
Take your time.
8, you are a trip.
I've never experienced anything of a. It's like, I just literally thought I was gonna die. I was like, I never thought that going to entertainment would turn out to be such a disaster. It was a nightmare that I never forget. I can't sleep at night. Every time I close my eyes, I see it. It's just, I'm lost for words for it. Never seen so many people on the ground fighting for their life. Never know that you will buy a ticket and it will be your death ticket. It's just devastating. It's like a nightmare. I don't even like talking about it.
And that's her mental injury.
Oh
Can you tell a little bit about your physical injury, Ms. Daughtry? And
when I fell to the ground. My back, I was walked down. If it wasn't for my brother, I probably wouldn't even be here today. But we managed to get out the crowd. But I was walked on my back, my leg. I already had my ankle messed up, and it got injured.
Wow.
It was like I couldn't breathe. I was.
Oh my, y'all see this mess. Y'all see this mess. And think about how they keep reiterating the same narrative as George Floyd, I can't breathe. George, what was his name? Eric Garner, I can't breathe. So y'all notice this common narrative, right? We can see through this nonsense for real. This don't make no sense. It really does not make any sense whatsoever. I cannot, y'all. I don't even have the words. I don't even know what to say at this point. It's too much. It is too much.
And I will spell it loud so everybody can hear. Gertrude, Gertrude.
Let me write her name
Daughtry,
down.
Daughtry.
Thank you for that, because I'm sure gonna look her up. I'm gonna look her up. All this acting don't make no sense. These people are a hot mess, y'all. These people are a hot freaking mess. All right, let's go on. Because I think it was one other lady, the one back there with the sunshades on, y'all. You remember her. She was the one that said she went to the she went out there by herself. She was with no one, okay? And she is a single mother, y'all. So I'm trying to figure out what single mother does something like that. And she came from out of town, okay? She left her kids behind, her children, and she went all the way out of town so she could be at the Travis Scott concert, y'all. You're going to hear her say this out of her own mouth. I couldn't understand that. I don't even know her name. Let me see if I can find what her name is. Let's see. AstroWorld victims. Y'all need to really cut the nonsense. Let's see here. Where is she? Because she didn't speak. And I think she was supposed to speak too. So we're gonna find this. We're gonna play that. Because she didn't make any sense either, y'all. Oh yeah, here it is. Here she go. Her and her fake self. Y'all know she acting. That's why she can't even look at people straight. That's why she got sunshades on. She came out there looking like she was on some stuff. Look. I was at the AstroWorld Festival, and I would like to say that I'm an AstroWorld survivor. I went out there thinking that I was going to have the time of my life. You all, I don't even weigh that much. It pains me. Hold on. Take your time. Take your time. Let me start over, you all. I was at the AstroWorld Festival, and I just saw masses and masses of bodies and people stampeding. And the closer I got to this stage, they were just pushing and shoving and fighting. And I feared for my life. I thought about my children. Oh. The Jesus take the wheel, I began to pray. I thought it was going to be my last day, you all. And when I made it through the crowd, they were just chanting and chanting. And they wanted to make mosh pits all over the place. And I said to myself, the nerve of these people to make a mosh pit. There were bodies dropping from left and right and left and right. And when I fell, I got back up and they stepped all over my foot, you all. Oh, I left out of there with a t-shirt and no shoes. Y'all, I can't. We're gonna watch this. We're gonna watch this video. This don't make no sense, y'all. They're gonna be mad at me. They're gonna be mad at me when they see this. All right, so let me share my screen. Oh God, I needed that laugh, y'all. I had a rough week. Okay, here we go. I made myself laugh. All right, y'all, here we go. No, 8, they don't need to hire me because I can't lie like this. This don't make no sense.
Stadium, where this concert took place. Our experts have confirmed from the evidence that was obtained that this concert never should have been approved in the first place.
All right, we're going to skip past these commercials. And he said he had evidence to prove that they never should have had the concert, y'all. I want to see this evidence. All right. Bring this lady up.
Alex, stay up here. Right, first we're going to have for you Miss Unica Smith, who's going to try to tell you what she experienced that night at AstroWorld Festival.
UNIQUA. 34.
Thank you, 8 with the 24. I appreciate that.
The AstroWorld Music Festival was by far the most traumatizing experience of my life. I'm a mother of 2, and I went to the festival alone by myself. So I never thought that by attending the festival, I was taking the chance that I would possibly not return home to my children. When I woke up Saturday morning, I found that so many people that I had spoken with in the crowd were exposed to so much trauma. I had no idea that people in the crowd had passed away that night. I was towards the front left-hand stage of the Utopia Mountain stage when Travis Scott began to perform. And the thing that stands out to me the most in my memory is that I remember being crushed from every side by human bodies all around me. When he began to perform his first song, the crowd began to jump up and down. And with so many human bodies contacting your body from every area, with them jumping up and down, there's no way possible for you to maintain your footing. I was not able to stand on my own. We formed a...
Now I want you to pay attention to the language that she's using. Who speaks this way? She's referring to these people as bodies, and you couldn't gain your footing. Like when you talk about your experience, you'd be like, oh, it was people all around me. They were pushing, they were shoving. I couldn't, I couldn't stand up straight. You don't say all of this extra stuff. So this is how you know she has tried to rehearse this nonsense.
Camaraderie of sorts in the crowd to be able to hold one another up so that we do not go down. By the third or fourth song, I remember trying to make my way out of the crowd, and I tapped a woman to the behind me, maybe about 2 people behind me. to the rear. And when I tapped the woman to ask her to please move out of my way, you can tell that she was kind of having trouble breathing.
Please tell me, how do you tap someone that's two people behind you? How do you tap someone that are two people by? She's two people by. How? Why are you tapping her? You said she was two people behind. That doesn't make sense.
Breathing on her own. The next thing I know, the woman began to have a seizure. She was there with her best friend. Her best friend just started screaming out, "Oh my gosh, she's having a seizure. Please, someone get the medic." I'm looking around for the paramedics. I don't see anyone responding. The woman hits the ground, and I'm the next person behind this woman. Her feet are next to my feet. The only thing that I can think of is if I trip over this woman's feet, we're going to create a pileup. There's no way possible that I'm going to be able to get out of this crowd. Thank God there were people around me to help me and help me to remain stable. And the only thing I kept reassuring myself is that if I can get out of that crowd with the dense air, with all of the heat, with everybody crushing me from every which way, then I'll be able to breathe, to return to normal air. And unfortunately, I made it through the crowd. I fainted as soon as I got through the crowd. I believe that by the time I started trying to leave the arena was around 9:45 p.m. I was caught in the madness and the mayhem until about 2:45 in the morning, not able to return to my children, no cell phone service, no way to Uber home, no way to contact anyone. There was no taxi service. So it was literally like I was trapped downtown by myself where I know no one. I don't know anyone here. So it was truly the most traumatizing experience. And I had no way of even getting back to my car because where my vehicle was parked, I later found out that was the reunification site for the people who had lost their lives during the concert. So I was purposely being rerouted from getting back to my vehicle because the families needed to go and find out whether or not their family members were still alive where my vehicle was parked.
Yeah, look, I want you to look at what this thing that she has around her neck says mom. It's pink and it says mom. So I guess they're trying to play on our sympathy here. And then he's going to give her a fake hug, y'all, like as he's encouraging her to move forward. And then she's trying to look like she's distraught in the face. Come on, y'all. Cut it out.
I know for a fact that I'll never attend. I at this point, I feel as if I'm very shaken up with large crowds.
You all, I must say that one thing I can tell you is that I will never attend another AstroWorld festival after my experience. I will never be around large crowds. I can't even go to amusement parks anymore. I can't take my children or my nephews out in public. You all, I was at the nail salon the other day and they're just playing it on the screen. Everyone's talking about what we should have done, what we could have done. And this lady was two people behind me and I tapped her and she just completely fell out and had a seizure. And then I fainted. And then when I came to again, I looked around and the AstroWorld Festival was still continue to go on, you all. And then that night, I couldn't find my car because, that was the place where all the victims had to meet up at. And so I was stuck there with no Uber ride. My cell phone didn't work. You all, I could barely walk. So I started crawling. You all, because I didn't know what else to do. And then when they saw me crawling, someone said, put a blanket over her. But I couldn't take the blanket because I was sweating. I was hot, you all. I was shaking. I was shaking with fear because I was like, if I see Travis Scott, I'm going to sue because he's the reason why I was having convulsions. Y'all, this don't make no sense. Let's continue on because this is some nonsense, y'all. Y'all already know it. Y'all already know this is nonsense. They think we stupid.
I feel like yesterday, for example, I went to the nail salon and as I'm sitting there, the AstroWorld clips are on every single TV screen. You see people being carried out on stretchers. You don't have the opportunity to even move on with your life. You're forced to relive this over and over and over again. And I know that so many people think that's helpful. And I know that, everyone has their story, but it just forces you to relive the trauma over and over again. And then there's discussions about it in person and online about what people in the crowd should have done, and saying, well, if you were in the crowd and you noticed someone dying around you, why didn't you help? I'm not a licensed medical professional. Only thing that I could think about was me not falling on top of this woman and crushing her to death. I'm not trained in how to respond to a crisis like that. So for people to pass their opinions on how the concert goers should have responded, that's completely inappropriate and traumatizing.
And the reality is, they shouldn't have responded. You should have had specialists, medical people, personnel there, crowd control personnel there, but they did not. And people are in severe need of mental health counseling because this has had a incredible mental strain on them. These many days later, I'm just watching her body shake as she relives it. It's something that as a community, we're going to have some serious mental health counseling. Thank you so much, Ms. Smith, for sharing your story. How old are your children?
They're 14.
14 years old.
Are they twins or?
Yes, twins. Next, we will have Miss Rena Irahita come and tell you about her experiences that night. You can just talk as loud as you can. Take your time. I'll spell it. You want to spell it for me? Okay. REYNAIRAHE.
Yeah. My name, Lil Daryl. DAIRALLEY. No, I can't. Tell me some. I'll spell it. Y'all with y'all crisis actors. Stop it. We can't do this no more. We just cannot do this. Oh my God. I gotta stop this, y'all, because we already heard from her and I couldn't take her voice. Because she was basically squeaking. And we heard what she sounded like, a crying cat. Okay? And I can't listen to that. It's not good for my ears, y'all. So anyway, y'all, as we can see, these people have insulted our intelligence to our faces. These people are paid crisis actors, fake concert goers, crunk clients, international nonsense is what's going on. Okay? These ladies don't even look like they would be at that location at a Travis Scott concert, raging, nosediving into the crowd. Okay? And you all, I wanted to take a look into, because seriously, honestly, for real, honestly, I want to say that I'm wondering if that boy Ezra Blount truly passed away. I do question those sentiments. I hope it's not true. And if you notice, they said that, hold on, I'll turn my camera on while I talk about this. They said that 9 people died, but technically it would have been 10 because they counted 8 people. Then they counted the boy, but they failed to mention that girl, Bahana. What was her name? She's like that Middle Eastern girl that got dropped on her head, y'all. Okay. And, I just don't understand how they can go on lying to us like this. Y'all, let me play another clip because I want y'all to see the antics that continue to take place with this whole entire narrative and this whole agenda. But again, I really kind of feel like the only one that may have passed away was that one that they dropped on the head. Okay. And it's very unfortunate to her, blessings to her family. because that was very disturbing to watch when I saw that. And I want to be respectful. That's why I'm not going to play it on here, because our family should not have to relive that. But y'all, we're going to watch more of this nonsense because I find it entertaining, to say the least. So I'm going to share my screen. All right, here we go, y'all. Here we go. All right.
And you move with it becomes like an organism. Yeah, these are friends earlier when they all.
Now this guy, as you can clearly see, is wearing a McDonald's hat. Okay.
And this kid.
He got on the McDonald's hat. And this allegedly, these are news reporters. And you can see someone's taking notes, documenting what he's saying. I guess they're supposed to have like a little voice clip right here on the cell phone so they can record what he's saying. But really, that guy looked like he's watching YouTube on his phone, y'all. So this is crazy.
And you move with it becomes like an organism. Yeah, these were friends earlier when they were all sneaking in, they trampled everything. Yeah. Oh wow. Is that the one with both the gate, right? So and there's kids buried under the gate. I remember me, him, and a couple other our friends. We were just hanging on to each other because once you get separated, it's lost. It's lost. I had to. When he falls, I would come back to pick him up. Yeah. If I would fall, he'd come back and pick me up. It's not a one-man show. It's really everybody.
I wasn't. You were hanging on to each other because if you let go, you.
Yeah, if you let go, it's like because you could easily drift apart. It's like being in water. It's weird. You literally just drift apart in the crowd. And I ended up in the middle of the crowd. And mind you, us four, we stay here together. We were separated the whole day. And I ended up seeing this guy in the middle. And while I was in the middle, you know, obviously everybody's opening up mosh pits. We're having a good time. But there's a lot of people that are very selfish. There's people that I saw a pit that was being held together by people, but because in the pit was people that fell. So they were standing together to help the people get up. And I witnessed somebody unconscious struggling to get out. Like their friends were trying to get him out, and just people weren't caring enough to like make a path. So as I'm a 400-pound guy, so I jump in because that's just my instinct, and I just make a path for him. And on my way back to the middle, I meet a girl that's hyperventilating. So instead, like, you know, I couldn't tell her, hey, calm down. I immediately just grab her, and I'm rushing back. And, you know, closer to the VIP section, that's when EMS was doing what they were doing with those visuals. It's a struggle because it's not you and a clear path. It's you and then the person next to you wanting to have fun. Yeah. The person across from wanting to fight some random person. And it's everybody for themselves, where if I see that you're saying, oh, I want to leave, I'm having a panic attack. Yeah. I'm saying, back up. People wait for you to have this look of concern to do something, right? When you should just take their word seriously, you know? Like, not for nothing, like, it is a fun event, but there's just people that careless people that just come and ruin it, you know?
Well, in the front, there was definitely a lot of jumping. If you didn't jump, you were going to fall, and you would get trampled on, definitely.
So the crowd's pushing
Yeah, the crowd's pushing back and forth, like, you needed to, if you were even a little bit tired, you were going to fall. It was just too insane.
So you tried to get your buddy.
Yeah, so my buddy was there, and he was already passing out. I saw him, I noticed him on someone's back, and then right away he said that he wanted to go, and I just helped him out right away.
Was he passing out from people crushing him forward?
He just looked very tired. I think it was from people, because there was too much pressure. You barely had like breathing space.
At these festivals, when you're up there, they have hydration stations.
Yeah.
You fill up your Camelback, but when you're up there for hours, and you run out of water, that walk back is a fight.
Yeah.
Watch live TV from 85 plus top channels with YouTube TV. Try it free. Hey everybody,
Yeah, it's a fight, okay? You gotta fight. All my life I had to fight. You know what I'm saying? When you go to these AstroWorld festivals Y'all can't even walk through the crowd. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. If you're going to go to the AstroWorld concert, make sure you boot up. You know what I'm saying? Bring your combat gear, your mace. You want to make sure you got your bulletproof vest on, your boots. You better be ready for battle, y'all. And that's what they're trying to tell y'all. Okay? So make sure you're prepared. Straight like that. Okay? Hashtag no days off. All day, every day. 24-hour knockdown. Want to go night, night, ninja? Everybody go night, night. Going to the AstroWorld concert. Okay? There's no games around here. And that's what they're basically trying to tell y'all. So, getting back to the situation at hand, I'm going to share my screen once more. I'm going to talk about Operation Mockingbird, which I know so many of you are already familiar with, because we're going to get, I don't have to be touched, never have. That's why I don't go to concerts. That's what's up. Because there's no way I would go see Travis Scott anyway. I'm not a fan. Like, I have been to see someone like, what's his name? Anthony Hamilton, somebody like that. But as far as Travis Scott, I am not really into that. Operation Mockingbird at its finest, you all. I talk about this on the channel from time to time because people act like they don't understand what's going on here. This is a CIA operative, and you all know because you've been watching Soul Energy's channel, you've been watching King World's channel, then you already know what this looks like, y'all. Okay, the CIA's use of journalists and clergy in intelligence operations. You can pull this up. This is the PDF version. It's a 50-page document. Okay. This says it was stamped February 19th, 1997, you all. And this is why they do this, because basically they want to keep us distracted from what's really going on out here. Now I'm skipping the pages because I'm trying to see if the okay, here are the contents here. Here are the contents. So basically, Operation Mockingbird, and I can basically sum this up, if you will, if we can't get into it. My computer's acting a little slow here for some reason. Okay. But this really defines what it is. It talks about how they use the journalists, Anderson Cooper, Wolf Blitzer, all these people that we have seen every single night, Peter Jennings, all those people are basically given a script to read to us. And they feed us what's supposed to be the news, y'all. A lot of those people that you see behind the camera are CIA operatives, okay? Let's see. Let me see. As far as I know how that I would hope that the committee could conclusively set the Peace Corps aside as quickly as possible. I was just trying to get to a place in here that really talks about it. But if you want to look this article up, I'm not going to sit here and read it. You can definitely check this out. It's intelligence.senate.gov. Okay. And it's called the CIA Use of Journal. And it basically tells you all about Operation Mockingbird. This has been going on for many, many years before we were born. Okay. Before many of us were living. Check out the JFK situation. They made use of Operation Mockingbird strategically for that situation. You all, that was basically the mafia at its finest, if you will. I mean, just check out the presidents if you really want to see how this whole thing is orchestrated. Okay, all day, every day, hashtag no days off. You said his music is trash. I don't know what he's saying. I didn't know what he was saying either. I know he was talking about something about escape plan. No hesitation. That's all I know. Hunger Games, Mockingbird. That's right. Sinclair Broadcasting, and people think Fox is the good one. Nope, they're owned by the CIA too. See, because they got to give you both. They got to give you one side and one scenario. They give you the other scenario, but really they've orchestrated both scenarios, just like the Democrats and the Republicans. That's why I was like, why go with either one? I don't even vote. I don't participate in that nonsense. Like, people literally have stopped being friends, y'all, over the fact that because of who people voted for. My sister was telling me about how people that was cool in the department and they would be friends on Facebook. And then when election time came, all of a sudden the people weren't friends anymore. Family members don't fell out because their family members don't want to vote. If I don't understand it sounds in the song, I think it's a spell. It's definitely a spell. There are spell casters all across the entertainment industry. And just like you know, I know that you know that they take the music and the lyrics and they play it back. And I think it's some type of chant that they do over the music before they play it out for the public. I heard about that back in like 2015. So this is why you probably have all those people acting crazy in the crowd, acting like they don't know what to do, like they don't know how to control themselves. And I mean, I looked at that concert. We can review it a little bit here, but those people were turned up. They're rowdy. And a lot of those people were not melanated people in the crowd that I saw. That's why I find it very hard and very strange that this guy, what's his name? Ezra Blount's father, that he would bring his 9-year-old to a Travis Scott concert. Backmasking. That's what it's called? Backmasking? Yeah, I find it very strange that this guy would bring his child to a concert. Let me see if we can find his Instagram, y'all. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see this. So this guy allegedly said that when he found out that his son was a fan of Travis Scott, he said that he had to take his son to the Travis Scott concert. And I'm thinking to myself, what 9-year-old is a Travis Scott fan? Because I've been around children. He predicted it in his lyrics. So then you already know what it is then if he predicted this in his lyrics. Y'all, these people don't play no games. They play on people's ignorance. And if you don't pay attention, you don't even know that you're being basically cast into a spell and part of a spiritual ritual that's going on. That's what this is. But this is Tristan Blount's father. Remember, he's the father of the alleged 9-year-old that passed away. Now, I want you, because I reviewed this the other night on the channel, but I'm going to review it again. Because, see, there is a GoFundMe right here. And actually, you can click on this GoFundMe, okay? And I want to make sure y'all can see this because the proceeds are now at $107,000. And he has a goal of $200,000. So let me stop sharing and reshare this so you can actually see this GoFundMe page. Because I'm trying to understand how much does it cost for a funeral. He said, yes, reversing a song is called Backmasking. Chris Brown, Kiss Kiss. What? Wow. And see, I heard about them playing the lyrics backwards. I remember that. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. Okay. I never liked that song anyway by Chris Brown. For some reason, I just didn't like the song. So this is interesting. Y'all, they're casting spells on people. And I want y'all to see this GoFundMe page. So I don't know how much it costs to bury a person. This boy was 9 years old when he allegedly passed away. This is this GoFundMe that they put up here. A goal of $200,000. He has $107,000 right now. And 22 people just donated, y'all. And he says here, hi, I'm Tristan Blount. I am starting this fundraiser for my son. He's 9 years old. His name is Ezra Blount. He speaks with a run-on sentence, no punctuation whatsoever. We attended Travis Scott's AstroWorld Fest. I had my son on my shoulders, awaiting Drake's stage performance. And you know, when Drake came out, they were already almost done with the show because Drake came out at the end. I began to be crushed until I couldn't breathe. I passed out. That's that narrative. That's the theme. I couldn't breathe. I passed out and I woke up and my son was gone. And due to his severe injuries, which are swelling in the back of brain, damage and trauma to nearly all organs, we are certain that he was trampled and is still in induced coma. We are thankful for his life and thankful. So it's almost like they are casting him away right now. We are thankful because if your son is in induced coma, you're thinking to come on and post I just don't know how a logical parent would think like this. But anyway, we are thankful for his life and thankful for all the prayers and positivity. We're asking for donations for his medical bills and anything that comes along with this tragedy, y'all. He said, I'm a big CB fan, mostly because I dance. Now, I'll say one thing. He can dance, and he definitely got talent. Like, he can definitely write. He can sing. I only donated to a couple of friends, family members' funeral. I did it anonymously, and they still don't know it was me. I don't trust donating anything. I did too. I donated to someone's funeral. You know, she was 33 years old, and what happened to her, she lost her life because of a guy. I didn't know her personally, but I knew her friend, and I knew how much she meant to him. So I donated for the cause. But you all, this is why I stress heavily for melanated people. Make sure you have life insurance policies on your family members and relatives to take care of funeral expenses, so you don't have to do these. But this is not the only person. There are many people that have had a GoFundMe page for this AstroWorld situation. So let's go and check this out. AstroWorld GoFundMe pages, okay? And they are probably still up somewhere. Let me see if I can find these. Here it is, because there you can actually see these on Twitter. So that's probably a better screen to share it on. And I just don't believe these narratives. I just don't, y'all. I really don't believe it. Like, I just don't. So people probably going to be like, you know, saying something negatively because I don't believe it, but I just don't. It just, this stuff doesn't make sense. When you start lying, that makes me question everything. It makes me question it all. Because why do you have to lie? Okay, here's the GoFundMe right here, November 7th. Now, remember, this took place on November 5th. So they had a GoFundMe on November 7th. All right. So this was one of the guys that they said passed away. This is one of the 8 guys. Of course, there's Ezra Blount. And y'all, he has a little sister. I don't know if you saw that, but they never spoke about his sister, never spoke about his mother. They only talked about the father. This is the one, I really do believe something happened to her because I saw them drop her on her head. This was sad. Now, she was in ICU fighting for her life. She became brain dead, you all. They also have, now I just want y'all to take a look at something because I'm not convinced. You know why? Look at these people, okay? I think this was the guy that they said. We're going to look him up because by the looks of it, I don't know if he's really into women, okay? And I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm going to look him up. Mirza Danish Beg. Myrna Danish Beg. We're going to see a picture of him with his alleged fiance. Okay. That's what we're going to see. So let me stop sharing. I'm going to pull this up so y'all can see this for a second. Because I want to get a better understanding of what's going on here. All right, let me share my screen so y'all can see this. Go here. Now, you kind of know what men look like when they are a certain way. It's just something that females, we can pick up on it. And some guys can pick up on it too. But I believe that this could be like a family member or a friend. But I don't think that was his fiance, y'all. But they told us that this woman is his fiance, allegedly. So I don't know, but it just looks weird to me. You know, it looks very weird. I think this is his Facebook page. Let me see if that's something we can look at. All right, so is this it here? November 23rd. This was last year. So he hasn't posted. Okay. And on top of it, he doesn't speak English. So he came all the way out to Houston to go to the Travis Scott concert, y'all, allegedly. Y'all, I don't know. It's all kind of strange to me. That's what I'm saying. let's continue on. We're going to look at some more of these quote unquote victims. Okay, let's put in the AstroWorld victims. There's another young lady too that I question this whole theme of if she was really injured, y'all. But they're going to show the pictures of what they look like. And we're going to take a look at their pictures, because I went to all their Instagram pages and I was reviewing, and most of them have GoFundMe. Some of them don't. Let me see if they'll show the pictures, because it's 8 of them. 8 of these people. AstroWorld victim photos. Let's see if we can find it. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Yeah. I wish So Madam would do a video on this. Her numerology be on point. Yeah. All of this stuff was weird. It was weird. I agree. Reminds me of Selena's father. Started working on her biopic a few days after her death. It's like they're manifesting his death. Right. See, I don't understand that. Like, I don't know. Like, if I had a child and this was going on with them, I don't think the first thing I would do is go to the news media and do interviews. I would be at the hospital trying to like encourage my son to pull through. And then on top of that, if other people wanted to make a GoFundMe, they could. But my main point of concern would be my child, not the medical bills, not all this. Because I don't know if they had insurance on this boy or not, but insurance does cover the cost of some of this stuff too. So they said he had a mother. So I don't know what that was like, but this stuff is weird, y'all, and it's not making sense. So I'm going to actually go to this other screen, which shows the victim, so we can take a look into that as well. And then it's weird, like some of the music and songs that he was playing. Like I listened to the lyrics and I read the lyrics to the songs. One of the songs was called No Escape Plan. That was the first song that they played. Then he had another song called Highest in the Room. Then he had a song that was playing what was it? Something about Don't Open the Window. Don't you open up that window. That one. All right, so these are the victims here, y'all. Alexa Acosta. Let's see here. We got Harris County, y'all. Shout out to YP. Let me stop. Okay. See, right here they said 8. When the boy, that's 9. But what you don't see is that Middle Eastern girl that they dropped on her head. I think her name is Baharti or something like that. So we got Madison Dubisky, but the last name like that, she's probably Polish, y'all. Brianna Rodriguez, Hispanic. Rodolfo Pena, Hispanic. Jacob Juranek, I don't know what he is. John Hilgert, that's the 14-year-old. Alex Acosta Avila, okay, Hispanic. And there's M. Danish Baig, him. And then Franco Patino. So these people, he had a lot of Hispanic fans, if you want to go by that. Which it doesn't really matter to me what their nationality is or ethnicity is. I'm just saying I like to look beyond what the news tells us so I can get a deeper introspect into what's going on. So I want to take a look into Madison Dubisky, you all. Okay. Madison Dubisky. She has an Instagram. Okay. Looks like she had a very fruitful and prosperous life, but you know, people lie on Instagram. They make a life that they want to show you, make it look all types of ways, y'all. So you can't really go by social media. So let me show y'all what this looks like for her. Okay. Let me share my screen. Don't you open up that window, y'all. I shouldn't even be singing that song. Obviously, I watched the concert because I was observing, y'all. I was taking notes, mental notes, and all types of stuff. All right. Madison Dubisky. This is one of the people that they said passed away in the concert. So here she is. This is the last thing that she posted on here. Minute Maid Park. You all. This was 4 weeks ago. Houston versus everybody. World Series, here we come. Okay. Now, this young lady allegedly was at the Travis Scott AstroWorld concert. Okay. Now, I don't know what's going on, but she looks like she's heavily into makeup, as you can clearly see here. Okay. She looks like she is a very social individual. She's very young. I think she's probably like 22. I think they said she was 22. One of these pictures, this is the picture that they show y'all. You keep seeing this one when she was in the furry pink coat. So yeah, that's the birthday cake. It says 22 years old. Okay, happy birthday. So judging on when that was, we could tell her zodiac sign, y'all. But this is her. So she was at the Travis Scott show and she didn't make it, allegedly, according to what they're telling us. Okay. All right. Dubisky. That is her. I'm being nosy, y'all. I'm gonna see. Madison 22 and fabulous. This was 81 week. May 3rd. So what is she? A Taurus? She's a Taurus, y'all. What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. I was just making a comment there. I also want to examine Ezra Blount's father's page, because y'all, he was like a Travis Scott maniac. That's why I thought that was weird. And I'm going to actually show y'all that in just a second. Let's see. Real people don't be all over the news sobbing. You said Taurus gang. Taurus is real grounded. Taurus is grounded. When my family friend DeHaven died a couple of weeks ago. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. His mom didn't go on the news for a few days. She only wanted to find out who did it. And his aunt said, no, that's how you know it's a hoax. Right. The news is, people don't want cameras all in their face, like when they're grieving. Honestly, I don't think they do. I really don't. And I don't think the first thing they're thinking about is a GoFundMe page either. I really don't. Unless some people do try to pay for funeral expenses, but for the most part, they are like torn apart, like mentally, emotionally, they can't even think straight. And a lot of times somebody else has to speak on their behalf because they just don't have the energy for it. Okay, let's go to T Shocking. That's his Instagram, y'all. Let's go back in here. We're gonna share this. Now I want you to see what a big fan he was of Travis Scott. So when they said they had to take the son to this Travis Scott to this Travis Scott show, I think he just wanted to go. That's what I think. Because who in the world gets another man tattooed on their arm? Because that's what this guy did. Tristan Blount, that's his name. Right here, you see a picture of the AstroWorld tattoo. And this was done back on October the 2nd. This photo was posted then. I've been dealing with this blessing that I can't ignore, putting up the number, we ain't keeping score. And aside from that, he's a wannabe rapper, y'all. He's 29 years old. And this is the type of antics that he's into with the 9-year-old. This is the AstroWorld. You see how it's a similar pose, but he's showing, like, he's making sure that it's AstroWorld tattoo is right there. I have lost from friends and gained some peace sounds like a fair trade. Drake. Hashtag Drake. So he's a Drake fan, I guess. Here he is again with this AstroWorld tattoo all up in the camera. Tell me what you see when you look in my eyes. Facts. You know what? This is some nonsense, y'all. Because he is just... You could tell what type of mentality he has. This is what you're doing on Instagram at 29. You almost 30. Okay. I love Kobe, but I'm getting a symbol of him. And Gigi, I'll never get another man tatted on me unless it's my son. I respect that. He was only 13, and that's part of why I've been having a tough time. But yeah, that's how it's... I'm so sorry to hear that. That's very young. That is so young. All right, he's posting his shoes. He's posting the AstroWorld photo again, y'all. We're going to praise our way out the grave. Y'all, stop it. Dog living, speaking, praise God, walking out the graveyard. Why are you talking about death on your pictures? Here he is again showing this AstroWorld tattoo. No, we not living the same. We not making the same. Y'all check out John Horse. He has a good YouTube channel. John Horse, he has a YouTube channel talking about this as well. And I just started following him. It's John Horse. I'm going to actually put his YouTube channel in the comments section for those of you all who would like to take a look at that. Yes, I mean, just the post that he's making, it's just kind of like, okay, what are you really doing with your life? And then I researched his background. So he works for a company called FHI out in Houston, you all. And I think that's like a factory. So he's like a factory worker. Okay, that's the AstroWorld tattoo right there. Again, he's putting up that tattoo. This is his daughter. You don't even hear him mention the daughter at all. And that's Ezra Blunt's sister. There he is. Like all of these, he's flashing that tattoo. He wants it to be seen, obviously. Okay. And this guy also has a YouTube channel too, if you ever want to take a look into it, where he's trying to rap. So I guess he's an aspiring rapper, perhaps. There he is again. There is even a picture of him on here where he went to Travis Scott has a store, and he has some a brand called Cactus Jack. So he has a picture holding the bag, just like, you know, Nipsey Hussle had a store. So he's holding the bag, showing people that, look, y'all, that's that 1111. I'll be seeing these numbers all day, every day, y'all. AstroWorld tattoos all over the place. So he got a picture holding the bag, and he want everybody to see that here it is. So the name of the store is called Space Village. Shout out to Cactus Jack. Everybody knows that. Well, people who don't know, Cactus Jack is actually a brand that Travis Scott owns. I actually looked that store up to see what the inside of the store looks like. Space Village. And it's hardly anything in it. It's a clothing store in Houston, Texas. So if you want to see what it looks like, we can look that up. Let me stop sharing and I'll pull this up for y'all. Travis Scott's music sound like death to me. Yes. He looks like death to me, literally, like his eyes. If you look into his eyes look like death. And I was looking at that. Yeah, his eyes look like, I would be scared to be around somebody that looks like that. So that's how you know that, what's her name? Kylie Jenner. She's into some stuff too, because those people are witches and they practice witchcraft. Everybody knows this by now. That's why Kanye West ain't right anymore. That's why, yeah, so this is the store right here. Okay, inside of Space Village, y'all. And I guess this is, you know, his brand and his logo right there. You can see the space image. That looks like, who is that? That's somebody in there. Is that Chris Brown? Can't really tell. No, that is not Chris Brown, y'all. But yeah, so this is the type of stuff that he has in the store. Of course, this is him. He looks like death. That's why his music sounds like death. All right. And then for those of you, which everybody should by now know who Kylie Jenner is. You remember when she covered her body in what seemingly looked like blood for Halloween? Yeah, these people are sick, they're twisted, and they're demented. So that's why we're going over this. So I talk about not having idol worship, because Kylie likes to take men away from, oh God. She can have Travis because we don't even want him. Oh, he's a Travis Scott sexual. Well, what in the world is that? So yeah, she can have Travis because he's not, in my opinion, he's not attractive. Nobody want him, but her. Okay, and they practicing witchcraft on these men. Look, who does this? Who does this? Who wants a photo shoot like this? That's why you know they own some stuff. She posted this on Instagram. This is the type of stuff these sick individuals, they're demented and they're into this. And y'all already know these people also, they are heavily connected with Marina Abramovic. Now, for those of you who don't, like, how is this even attractive, y'all? Who is attracted to, what is even like engaging about this photo? This looks nasty. It looks disgusting. It looks demented and twisted. So I don't understand. What was the point of posting this on your Instagram? 275 million followers were quick to point out that the promotional images look more like something they'd seen in a health class pamphlet than a sexy centerfold. One fan joked in the comment section of the post, "Oh God." Y'all, this is, she looks like she's been in a mass murder. That's what that looks like. But you got so many people that like to follow these, you know, these celebrities and worship them. And you all know that I say that celebrities is like celebrating an entity. So I don't consider them celebrities. They're just people that are infamous. That's all they are. And they look like dummies in the face, literally. All right, I'm gonna click off some of this stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna pull up Marina Abramovic, because they be going to these secret parties and secret meetings, and they be practicing all types of sorcery and nonsense. And this woman is in her 70s, right? She's in her 70s, but the reason she looks young because she uses real life blood from children to keep herself looking young. And another person that does this is Kim Kardashian. She's been putting placenta blood on her face for years. Yeah, I found that out back in like 2015 about Kim Kardashian doing that nastiness. Aleister Crowley, exactly. Sometimes the fans will call them out in comments. I see a lot of Illuminati comments now. I'm glad people are waking up. That's why I do stuff like this, because people need to understand what's really going on. Like, this is nothing to be celebrating. Like, they're not celebrities to me. I'm not celebrating these entities. If anything, Brown Girls Are Beautiful's hashtag and quote is celebrate yourself. Hashtag all day, every day, no days off. You should celebrate yourself, y'all, because y'all have just as much talent, just as much charisma. These people are weird. Look at this. And she calls this art. I actually looked up some of her videos, and it's very disturbing to watch the stuff that she does. You know, she's tied in heavily to Jay-Z and Beyonce and all of them. So Kanye and all of them, they all hang out. Now, some of this stuff, let me see. She got, let me just put in blood, because she got some of this blood stuff going on too. Now, this reminds me of what they described at the Travis Scott concert. There were bodies on top of bodies, y'all. That's what they kept saying, right? And then right here, like, how is this art? How is this? This looks like blood that's written back there on the wall. How is this art? What is appealing? I mean, come on. It's right there in front of your face. She's holding the horns of Baphomet himself. Middle finger of your left hand, eat the pain. She's sick, she's twisted, and she's demented. And these celebrities, they hang with her. I'm sure you probably can find the, let me see if she's with the, if you can find her with the Kardashians. The only reason they are famous or have the title they have is because of OJ, a melanated man. And like I said last time, I don't even believe the whole narrative behind OJ and Nicole. That was a whole acting role within itself. Here it is, everybody's idol worship, Jay-Z. I knew she would be in here somewhere. There you go. There she is. These people got mind control over Kanye, y'all. When he was snatched off that stage back in 2017, he was never the same after that. Never the same. Look, how is this art? You tell me what is art about. They look like they are literally trying to bite each other's lips off. This is the sick stuff they're into. And then you got Kanye in the middle of this nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Like, and y'all want us to feel sorry for Kanye? I don't feel sorry for Kanye because he knew what he was getting himself into when he went over there with these witches. Witches from Arabia, y'all. That's what this is. Witchcraft and sorcery. Okay? So we don't need to. Jay-Z worships Aleister Crowley. Yeah, he absolutely does. And he laughs and makes fun of it when people call him out about it. He thinks it's funny. Kanye been gone for years, to be honest, even before Kim. He has. And obviously he seems like he doesn't have it all. If I choose music, it be better than all those artists. Hold on. I just won't sell my soul, so I wouldn't make it. Right. Some people value their souls, y'all. And these people do not. Clearly they do not. And they want us to follow behind them. I ain't following behind any of these people. I follow myself. I'm my own leader. And you be your own leader too. Because there's so many people out here who are far more talented than these rappers. Seriously, look at Soul Energy. She can out-rap a whole lot of these dudes. Black Balloon, what is this? Black Balloon did a video on her. It's really good. I'm going to write that down. B-L-A-K-K Balloon. Okay, and I'm going to put the name of John Horse. Has a YouTube channel that you might want to check out. And he talks about a lot of this stuff too. It's not really a big platform, but some of the small channels be having good content, but it's just that they don't really get, they don't have a large following for whatever reason. Oh, you rap and sing? I could believe it. I can definitely tell because you have a good way of articulating yourself through words. So most people can rap and sing like that. I can rap too, but I can't sing, y'all. I sung one time, a few times in my life. I was able to make myself sing and it sounded really, really good, but I don't really know how to do it anymore. But I always wanted to be a singer. I always wanted to be a singer. I always wanted to be in music. Y'all, I was a music major. I was playing the piano in my 20s. I started learning how to play. I used to play the flute in middle school. So I love music. And I actually had to get myself away from a lot of the music because I understood that it was negative undertones, negative vibrations, low vibrational frequencies, and I wanted to elevate. I was trying to elevate myself, and I had to step away because I'm a major rap fan. Y'all, I had my mother listening to Tupac and Biggie. Okay, that's how she started listening to them because she used to ride in the car with me. Man, I used to make CDs. Y'all remember when LimeWire was out, and it was another one, Kick Ass Torrents. Yeah, I used to have the CDs before the CDs came out. That's and I would just give them to people. I could have been charging. Like I wanted people to enjoy the music right along with me. I had everything and everything you could have wanted. I got all this stuff still saved on my MP3 players, y'all. I had a Zoom with 250 gigabytes. Like, cause that's how serious I was about it. I used to I remember on Tuesdays, y'all, when Tuesdays hit, that's when the new CDs would come out. And I used to go out on my lunch break and travel all the way to Circuit City, y'all. Those people used to know me in Circuit City. I remember one time me and my sister met up at Circuit City. She was in there getting a free t-shirt. That's when people used to come. CDs was the thing back in the day, y'all. And you take the wrapper off, you get in the car, you put it in, you listen to that CD, you look at it, you looking through the little case. All those days are over now. But yeah, that was back in the day. Yep, LimeWire. I never did mess with FrostWire, but I know that they shut LimeWire down. Yeah, my heart was tore up because I could get all the remixes. I had all the different versions. I got like so many Prince. I got his whole discography because of Kick-Ass Torrents. I have like Tupac, his discography, y'all. I got Tupac mixtapes, y'all. Man, when I tell you I was into music, Yo Gotti when he was on the mixtape back in the day. I don't even know if people really know about the what's the name of that song? This before Yo Gotti was even big. I was listening to Yo Gotti. I was a big 3 6 Mafia, Project Pat. We up all night. We high up there. Y'all, I was getting in the car. I had a subwoofer in my trunk. Y'all, that's how it really was in my first car. You could hear me coming down the street. My bass was booming. Okay, I had an amplifier. I had the tinted windows. If I could have, I would put some rims on it. But y'all, I was driving a little small Hyundai Accent. You miss Circuit City? I had an Accent, y'all. It was brand new though. And when I got that Hyundai Accent, this is what really happened. So the day I was supposed to get my car, my daddy came to get me out of school early, y'all. I was in English class that day. So I didn't know where we were going. This was like a week before my birthday, and I wanted a car so bad. I know this is off topic, but I'm gonna just share this story with y'all. I wanted a car so bad. So y'all used to get on my knees and pray. I used to literally get on my knees and pray, and I used to ask God to please give me this car. Let me get a car. And I was working. I had a job back then. So my daddy was like, whatever money you make and save up, I'm gonna match it. Right. So that's what he told me he was gonna do. Okay. So that's what's up, thug life. Yeah. They're usually the best before everybody knew about them. Exactly. So my daddy said he was going to match the money. So anyway, they got me out of school early. We went to go looking at cars. I really didn't get to pick the car I want. He kind of picked it out, but I already knew before we left that dealership, he already told him, man, he was coming out there with a car. So y'all, I ended up leaving out with a car. And on my way home, I accidentally left the brake up. So about 25 minutes down the road, I was driving with the brake up and didn't know it. And I'm like, why is the car not accelerating like it's supposed to? It just seemed like it's not taking off. When we made it like 5 minutes, now I want to say maybe about 7 to 10 minutes away from the house, my brakes started smoking, y'all. It was like this heavy brake smell. And then by the time we made it to the house, the car was smoking. Y'all, I left the freaking brake up. And then ever since then, the car used to make like this whistling noise going down the street at like 20 to 30 miles per hour. When I hit 40, it stopped, okay, making the noise. But nonetheless, I had a car. It was brand new. So that was my first car, y'all. Traded that car in and moved my way up. My second car was a Protege, y'all. And this car, I needed a sunroof. So every car since then had a sunroof, had to have the tinted windows, got my windows tinted, y'all. This time I thought I was doing it. I had the electric windows, power locks, because the other car didn't have the electric windows. And, but anyway, y'all, that's neither here nor there. This was just back in the day, y'all. It was just, it was what it was. But y'all, this, has been an episode of Brown Girls Are Beautiful. I hope you have enjoyed it thoroughly. I don't want to drag this on too long. I know y'all probably going to be turning in, getting turkeys and stuff. Y'all, I don't eat meat. So everybody knows that I only eat the sides. Y'all are feasting. Know that you are feasting off of them massacring your people and your ancestors, y'all. So that's really what the whole practice behind Thanksgiving is all about. I don't really subscribe to it. I be around my family because, my mother, she's, they expect me to be around for that reason. Plus my nephew's birthday is Saturday. So he's like a Thanksgiving baby. He actually had a birthday on Thanksgiving. And I remember when my sister went into labor with him, it was the day after Black Friday. It was so funny, y'all. So he's a turkey baby. Turkey, you say turkey yuck? Yeah. Yeah, I don't eat turkey anymore. I used to actually love ham. I used to love pork and bacon. Y'all, I remember my daddy used to fix this honey glazed ham with pineapples. Oh, I would tear it up, y'all. I would tear it up. You remember when Gina and Martin, and she had them biscuits? He said, not my mama biscuits, y'all. She was like, I'm going to tear it up. I used to tear that ham up and that bacon. But I no longer partake with the swine, y'all. I want to clean my body out. So I drink the alkaline water. Y'all, I got the kombucha for the detoxifying of the body. And we don't partake in swine over here. We don't want parasitic energies in our bodies, y'all. So you all, I'm just going to close out like, you like ham? Green eggs and ham. Sam, I am. I was like, you know what, Project Pat and 3-6, if they ever did a song, they could be like, that's what it sounded like to me. Green eggs and ham. Sam, I am. That's exactly what it sounds like. Not my mama biscuits. I know, right? Man, I'm telling you, they don't have TV shows like they used to. So I no longer have cable, haven't had it for years. I'll never get cable again because I spent so many of my years being rocked to sleep, okay, being entertained. And so that's why I be heavily on YouTube because I learned so much. And it has enlightened me a lot. This is how I know they're going to shut it down eventually. So y'all, make sure y'all have a meeting spot. Make sure y'all get y'all passports, get your bulletproof vests. Make sure you have plenty of ammunition. If they come knocking on that door, they try to give you that injection, y'all know what to do. Go to war for yours. That's what I'm going to tell y'all. Because I ain't going down without a fight. And I say that all the time wholeheartedly. Yeah, this has been some, but I watch old shows. Yeah, the old shows were the best shows, y'all. I used to like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with Ashley Banks, y'all. Tatiana Ali. She was so beautiful. She still is. And I used to love Rudy, Keisha Pulliam, you know, that natural beauty that they had back in the day that they don't have anymore. Aaliyah, you know, stuff like that. Now they got these fake body parts and all this Martinas and stuff. So yeah, I enjoy you'll inject them instead. That's right. Ashley she is adorable. She had a baby too, y'all. Maya, y'all remember Maya? I would take the stars out the sky for you. I used to like Maya. I still like Maya. She's an independent artist, so you're not going to find her mainstream. She produces her own stuff. She writes her music. She can dance, y'all. Maya's talented, y'all. Give her Maya. She's in. Aaliyah, number one. Oh, yes. Yes, all day Aaliyah was so angelic. Lark Voorhees. I need to check that, who that is out. I don't know who that is, but the name sounds familiar. Yes, Maya, of course. All day, every day, y'all. Check out Maya. She's a Libra. Aaliyah was a Capricorn. And y'all, since we're talking about the whole music thing and spiritual rituals, you all know that Aaliyah, unfortunately, she died at the age of 22. And according to what Mary J. Blige said, her death was a spiritual murder. You can check that out on 106 in Park, the video where she's talking to AJ and Free. And she said, if I could bring the proof, if I could bring the evidence, she said, baby girl, that which y'all witnessed was a spiritual murder. Y'all, that broke so many people's hearts. That really touched me. I didn't cry, but there were a lot of dudes that cried over Aaliyah. Aaliyah, to this day, I still, you know, have a place for her. Tupac really, really affected me when I heard about it that morning. Was September 6th, y'all. Aaliyah died in August of 2001. And I think Tupac died in like September of 96, y'all. I was like so young back then. I was a big Tupac fan. And then I had to understand and come to the whole realization that he was a CIA agent, that his real name was not Tupac Amaru Shakur. That was not, all this stuff was fake. It was orchestrated. So I'm pretty sure that all these people are connected somewhere down the line. But my whole point is they practice spiritual murders on people and spiritual ritualistic things. So it is unfortunate that people get caught up in this stuff, but this is just what happens. At some day, at some time, no matter how big, how talented, how beautiful you are, they don't care. When they're talking about these spiritualistic rituals, they don't care, and they'll get you if they want to get you. So that's what it is. I have a few videos on it, and I know a lot about Aaliyah's death stuff. I didn't want to, but I'm from Detroit. She was sold by her parents and uncle. Oh my goodness, y'all, that's sad. Yeah, and that whole thing about that, they told us that what happened was the pilot was like on cocaine or drunk and he was intoxicated, but that was not the truth. They actually switched her flight out to a different plane at the last minute. This whole thing was really orchestrated, y'all. There's no reason why her flight would take off and then go down like that. I actually saw the photo of her burned body. It was very disturbing. There's no way she would have survived that, y'all. Her body was, you know, Aaliyah was very petite. really small. There was a guy, one person that did survive. And ironically, when he got to the hospital, somehow all of a sudden he didn't make it. So I don't know if someone got to him so he couldn't tell the story of what really truly went down. You know, they have a way to silence people, just like Prodigy from Mobb Deep. Y'all, they said he choked on an egg. That was sending a message, because Mobb Deep, believe it or not, Prodigy was very awakened and enlightened. And I was looking at one of his videos. He was saying how that he would take his 7-year-old to the gun range, and he would teach a 7-year-old how to shoot a gun, because if anybody came in the house, his 7-year-old was going to know how to protect and defend the household and himself. And he was talking about other stuff too. So really, when they said he choked on the egg, they were sending a subliminal message right there. Throat chakra. Okay, they wanted to silence him. That's what that was. Lenny Kravitz offered him playing, but they said no, let her go on this one. See, exactly. So they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. Says she was trying to ask for help before she died. Wow. I just wish she was still around. Like, I know Aaliyah would have been like, what, 42 or something like that by now. I wonder like what she would be like, you know, if she would have had children and stuff like that. You know, it's really messed up that they robbed her. She touched a lot of people. But you all, I have enjoyed you all thoroughly. This has been an episode of Brown Girls Are Beautiful. Of course, I'm going to close out like this. I'm going to say shout out to all my beauty queens. Shout out to all the melanated warriors out here, the true warriors that stand up and defend our honor. We thank you wholeheartedly. Shout out to all the little princes and princesses out here. Continue to walk in your divinity. You all stay blessed. And until next time. And I'm going to sign out like that. So we have Samaya supporting Brown Girls Are Beautiful. Thank you for showing that beautiful smile.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Could you tell me what you feel as a brown girl? Could you tell me how you feel about the Brown Girls Are Beautiful?
I think this brand, it really like emphasizes how much we need to support Black businesses, and especially as a fellow Black girl yourself, I think we all need to uplift each other, especially with all the hate in the world. So I think having a shirt that can remind you that you are beautiful is definitely a beautiful message.